I guess we just start. Oh, we're recording. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to another conversation here with the Seltzer Group. We are pleased that you chose to join us. My name is Steve Stramara. I'm the president of the Seltzer Group, and I'm delighted to have five great panelists this morning. We're going to talk a little bit about personal insurance products. We're proud to be a member of the Keystone Insurance Group and partner with such great insurance companies like we have here today. So I'll do a brief introduction and I'll let them. So Luann Nugent is from Grange. Luann, welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Good morning.
And we have Jake Schaefer from Penn National. Jake, thank you.
Morning, thank you.
Steve Harris from Acuity.
Thank you.
Welcome, Steve. And Liz Mateo from Travelers.
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Steve.
And finally, Bruce Brizzi from Goodville. So,
good morning.
Thanks for joining us all today. I'm going to start with a couple of questions, and then each of you can join in and answer as best as you can. So tell me a little bit about what insurance carriers are offering policyholders today regarding any kind of financial relief or adding grace periods for payments. What are each of you doing to support the folks out there that are affected by the COVID-19 issues? Luann?
Well, Grange, first off, I'm Luann Nugent. I'm the Territory Sales Manager for Central Pennsylvania. What Grange is doing to respond, and we're very fortunate that we jumped in right away to try to find good solutions for our insureds. One of the things that we're doing is we are deferring payments if someone has a need that they can't afford to make their payments because they're out of work due to COVID. So we're suspending cancellations. Also, if someone is on EFT, they can stop that so that they don't get the automatic withdrawals. And one thing that's very important to me with this circumstance is we have a really great discount for prompt payers, which can really affect an insured's rate next year because people won't go into cancellation through March through the end of May. Their prompt payer discount will not be affected, so they'll still have it in effect next year as long as they don't go into cancellation. Another benefit that we have added to our insureds is a payback. On our personal lines auto, people aren't driving as much, so the number of accidents has gone down. So we want to return some premium to our insureds in the form of a payback, which is 25% of their premium for the months that are involved in the COVID crisis. Right now it is April and May, and as with every business at this point, we're trying to be as fluid as possible. And so things are subject to be extended or changed, but we're trying to react so that we can help our insureds out and give you the best service. We're working completely remotely with our company, and it's working really well, so we have no interruption in service. So if someone needs our assistance, please reach out. We are here.
Thank you, Luann. Appreciate that very much and appreciate your partnership with us. Jake, what's Penn National doing?
Yeah, so I'm the territory manager for the South Central Pennsylvania area. At Penn National, we've followed along, I think, kind of with what a majority of the carriers have started to do in terms of suspending cancellations. That started the end of March, the 22nd, I believe, providing grace periods for those who are struggling to make their payments. We're waiving any late fees or reinstatement fees for policyholders. And then last week, we also announced a personalized payback for our policyholders that'll be 50% over the 2 months. We're working on getting a little bit more information, but what they could expect will be, we're going to send one check. I know some carriers might send one for April, another for May. We're going to combine them both, and they should start seeing those refunds in the beginning of May come through.
Thanks, Jake. Appreciate that. Steve?
Hi, I'm Steve Harris, Eastern PA Territory Director for Acuity. We're kind of taking a similar approach on personal lines and maybe a little bit different approach on commercial lines. For personal lines, we've, starting on March 11th, which is the day the World Health Organization declared this a pandemic, we're rolling on a 5% annual rebate to our insureds. That's going to credit them. It's not an immediate relief, but it's going to give them a 5% discount over the course of the next year for all new and renewal policies. And as far as commercial lines, we're kind of handling everything on a case-by-case basis. If there's an exposure change, if there's a payment issue, if there's any kind of other mitigating factor involved with the pandemic here, we're having them call into billing or underwriting and play around with the exposures. And I'm sure we're waiving some late fees and extending some payments, but we're trying not to make a blanket statement out there because we don't want to push the billing problem 2 or 3 months or 6 months into the future where everybody got relief now, and then 4-6 months in the future where they're still getting back up on their feet, all the insurance premium is coming due then as well. So we're trying to find that happy medium of what's a good sense of relief now, but without killing them down the road either.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Liz?
Hey everyone, my name is Liz. I am the Territory Sales Manager, Sales Executive for Travelers in Northeastern Pennsylvania. Similar to what most of my colleagues here on the call have mentioned, we are also taking a similar approach. So we're suspending cancellations and non-renewals due to non-payment. Right now it's through May 15th, but like Luann said, it's fluid. So, we're reevaluating as the time goes on. We're also waiving any late fees, so customers and policyholders don't have to be worried if they can't make any of those payments. Last week, we also announced the stay-at-home premium credit program, where we're crediting our customers 15% of their monthly premiums for the months of April and May, and we'll reevaluate again as time goes on to see if we have to extend that.
That's great. Thank you, Liz. Bruce?
Hi, everyone. I'm Bruce Brizzi with Goodville Mutual. And my title is Vice President of Marketing Department. I've creeping up on 40 years experience in the industry. But just to qualify that, I started in the business when I was 11. Our approach at Goodville is a little different. We're a mutual company, and we speak in terms of members rather than policyholders. And what we're doing with our members is that we're giving them an option during the crisis here that if they find themselves in financial hardship and they need some assistance, we're going to provide them with the option of requesting a credit. It would be for 2 months, 15%. We would send them out a check or do a premium credit depending on their payment plan. But with that we've established a pool of funds, about $2 million. And within that pool, we're also allowing our members the opportunity to allow the money to stay in the pool to help others that are truly in financial need. And this reflects back to how our company was founded on the concept of mutuality, this idea of a group of people helping each other. And what we talk about as members helping members. So what we're going to do with this pool is that people who are in financial hardship because of the crisis, we're going to help them through that crisis financially. And if there are funds available outside of what we've done with the premium credits and helping people in financial trouble, we're going to donate the remaining funds to charity. So it's a very different approach. It's going to take a lot of work internally, but it really reflects back on this whole concept of helping, bearing one another's burdens and being socially responsible. We're also doing all the work around suspending cancellations for late payments, waiving all fees, working with our members if they need a flexible payment plan. But I think the difference here that we offer really is this this pooling of funds and members helping members concept.
Thank you, Bruce, and thank you, all of you. As an independent agent, we have a lot of places that we could place our business, and it's an honor to represent each of your companies with what you're doing to help your customers, help our customers or members in this great time of need. And it's a pleasure to represent each of you. Bruce, I'm going to start with you this time. And so how would you suggest that your members contact you or us about what financial hardship they're under, and how would they execute or request those kinds of credits, or even the charity piece that you mentioned?
Yeah, we, Steve, our operation's very friendly. We answer our phones. We don't put people through a tree of options. So we're asking our members to work with their independent agent if that's their comfort level and their best point of contact, or to call us directly. So we have a group we're a bunch of people working remotely. We have some people who are still in our office locations handling these phone calls. So we have our accounting function very trained and up to speed as far as the options that are available for people. And we're just going to be as flexible as possible to help them through the process.
Thanks, Bruce. We also are impacted by all of this. We have 7 physical offices in 4 different counties, and we were able to get everybody working from home. We have over 50 employees, mostly all working from home. They're there every day, normal business hours, and we're constantly trying to educate them on what every carrier is doing so that they're prepared to answer these questions and help our clients through this difficult time. Liz, how would any suggestions on how policyholders of travelers should work to try to, is there anything they need to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Any customers who are impacted or having any trouble making any payments on their policies, they can contact you guys, their agents, or we have a specific phone number that they can call and make payment arrangements. I can give that to you after the call. That way we can, share that with the customers and the participants on the call.
Perfect. Thanks, Liz. Steve?
Couple ways. For personal lines, they can call that premium rebate endorsement is automatically being rolled on, so they don't have to do anything for that. On the commercial line side, they can call into you guys as the agency. They can call and have the agency call underwriting, or they can call directly into the billing department, whichever is more convenient for them.
Thanks, Steve. Jake?
Yeah, whatever the client feels more comfortable with. If they want to, talk to you, get one of your agents, and then you guys contact us, that's fine. We also have what we call a customer contact center that we've given the authority to revise current pay plans for clients if they want to call that 800 number. And I'm happy to share that with you after the meeting if you want to get it out to your client, Penn National policyholders.
Thank you, Jake. Luann?
Like the other carriers, we are encouraging our insureds to speak to the agency if they're most convenient, and most comfortable with that manner. But likewise, we have an 800 number that goes to billing specialist. We are working hard to maintain the same degree of service so that people aren't on the phone quite so long, because any of us that have tried any travel arrangements or changes, you can be on the phone for hours. So we're working hard to be as efficient and keep things moving as quickly as possible. We also have a great app that you can put on your phone. That's another way to see what's going on and communicate. Likewise, for if someone is waiting for their payback, it's taken care of automatically. It would be refunded back to the person onto their billing statement if they're on installments, or be sent a check. But once again, like the other carriers, we're going to do it in one fell swoop because it's too hard to gauge right now. but we want you to have every possible resource to get to us that you can.
Thanks, Luann. That, you brought up a good point. At Seltzer, we've worked hard really over the last couple of years to develop our own mobile app and actually our own, what we call CSR 24, to allow customers to communicate to us, make changes, request information, just get a hold of us. It's the new way of doing business, and we all need to do that. You mentioned your app, so I want to ask others: is there other ways that policyholders can communicate or see information online, or post requests out there? So, Jake, do you want to?
Yeah. We have our online insurance center app that's available. I think we have a fairly positive number, high percentage number of our policyholders that are on that. They can go through there and sort through the menu bars and find the information they're looking for in regards to payments, contact information, whatever they're looking for. It's available through the app as well.
Wonderful. Steve?
We also have a phone app that can be downloaded for your smartphone or even an iPad, I believe. And when we send out our policies, whether it be a new business or a renewal, there's also a page in there that an insured can get a user ID and password for our website. Although, truth be told, I think most agents pull that page because I don't think they want insureds going on our website and looking at billing and printing loss runs off of it and all of that. But the access and ability is there if that makes it the whole way to the insured. But yeah, there's through the website, phone calls, and smartphone apps.
I actually, no, we do not pull those pages off of policies.
I know some agents do.
Our philosophy is, we're in this together, and we each have our role, and more information is better. And consumers today, I believe, want to be able to connect both with a human being through a phone call or a face-to-face visit, or through the web, and we want to give all of our policyholders the opportunity to do that either directly through us or through our company partners. So
where it gets pulled is we actually give them, if they get that user ID and password, they have the ability to print their own loss runs. Now the agent still gets notified, but a lot of agents, they want to control that and want to know if they're getting loss runs. So it kind of, when they found that out, they're like, yeah, we're yanking that page out of there. We don't want them doing that. So
that's a little bit of an antiquated way of thinking. We focus our energy and our thoughts in this agency around risk management and risk prevention.
Sure.
We want our customers looking at loss runs and understanding what's happening out there so that they can make important decisions and correct and add solutions to those areas. So we're off of personal lines. So Liz, I know Travelers has some great mobile capabilities.
Yes, we do. We have the My Travelers app where customers can log on and they can see all their policy information, make certain changes on there, call if they need a tow, you can report claims on there. And then they can also access Travelers website. And we have a great resource page there as well for customers who want to see, what we're doing to help during this crisis. So there's definitely a lot of digital stuff that we have out there to assist the customers and the agents as well.
Thank you. Bruce?
Yes, I think same as the other carriers. We have a real active website at goodville.com. We have Ask a Question feature there that's monitored 24/7, so we always respond back pretty promptly for people that have questions. We have an app available for our members, and they can do all the functions as far as billing, claims reporting, claims status, and so forth on the app.
Thank you all. And if any of our customers or policyholders out there have any would need any assistance or help setting up our apps or any of yours, just please call us and we'll help you through that and get you the information you need. So does anybody have any other additional information from the insurance company point of view that policyholders need to know or understand, during this pandemic? Liz, I'll start with you this time.
I mean, we're all in this together. I would say the important thing is for them to reach out to their agent if they have any questions. Reach out to us. There, you know, we have the resource page there, like I mentioned. We're all trying to help each other out, and you know, take advantage of bundling discounts. Look at your policies. Make sure you have the proper coverage now. Take advantage of usage-based devices for such as with us IntelliDrive, EFT, paperless. So any of these things to help the customers out during this time, either save money or just look over their policies to make sure that they're properly covered.
Yeah, excellent. Steve?
I would echo that in that, review your policies and use the technology and the means of communication that are available to you. Reach out to the agency, reach out to the company, and don't hesitate to ask a question if in doubt. I mean, who knows how this is going to all play out and when this is all going to, when we're going to be able to return to any kind of normalcy, if you will. If you have a question or if you have a concern, don't be afraid to call up and talk to somebody and ask and see what can be done about it.
Yep, thank you. I'm sure everybody is concerned about how to save money, and everybody's in a different position financially, and there's a lot of things that they can do to help manage their costs in this time. Jake, you have thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, along the similar lines of what Liz and Steve said, that we're all in this together, and I think the biggest thing is don't be afraid to communicate. Whether it be with your agent or the agents with us, or directly contacting us with any questions. We're here to make their lives easier through this pandemic. We want to help out whatever way we can, whether it be increasing your pay plan from quarterly to a monthly to help you save a couple bucks. Or any other questions you have about, a driver Penn ID program to monitor driving, or anything that you guys feel makes you feel more secure, just reach out and communicate with us. We're here to service our agents, our policyholders, and, we're completely open from our billing center to our claim center to underwriting. We're 100% working remotely, and we're here to serve them.
So I have a question from one of the attendees, and I think it's relevant to where we're at. In this state of emergency, can I get an extension? So it's really what we talked about earlier. Anybody who wants to jump in?
Extension as far as payment extension, is that what the question is?
I believe that's what it means, yes.
Yeah, and I think we're all offering that flexibility of no notice of cancellations and extending out and working with your clients, Steve, and our members to just help them through the hardship and get them comfortable into a payment plan or a situation where we can help them through it and retain them as members.
Okay. Actually, I got a clarification on that question. It wasn't about payments. So in homeowners, there's often an inspection that's done once we write a policy, and sometimes there are some recommendations, maybe fix a railing or a porch or a step or whatever. So if somebody has some of those requirements, those loss control requirements out there, and now because they can't get contractors, they can't go get this done themselves, as far as those kinds of extensions, can we request those?
I would say
Travelers. I know everybody jumps in.
Go ahead, Liz. We'll start with you.
We do recognize that it's been difficult to get contractors out there, and there has been a delay in those. So we have been working with policyholders. I would say just keep the lines of communication open with the underwriter that requested those changes and on the inspections. And we're working with customers on that. So absolutely.
Luann, I think you wanted to jump in. We'll go to Steve.
Yes. One thing that we're doing at Grange is we have a do-it-yourself home inspection, which is working really great on that phone app that I mentioned earlier. if you're a new policy holder, you get a link on it if you're open to it. It's actually pretty snazzy. It tells you what pictures to take of your home, and as an exchange, we do give a $25 discount on your first year's homeowner's policy. But likewise, if something does come up that requires recommendations and repairs, once, just speak to your agent and they will reach out to the underwriter and help make arrangements for you for extensions. But likewise, not everyone is comfortable with technology. And if an inspection is required, we can still send someone out to do an inspection. It would be strictly external and no physical contact. But also notifying you that an inspector is coming out. But once again, it comes down to communication. Solutions can always be found if there's communication.
Steve, did you have something you wanted to add?
I would just say that, yeah, it's a matter of reaching out to underwriting. I mean, we're aware that construction is not considered essential in Pennsylvania. So if there was some sort of recommendation that needed to be completed, now is not going to be a very easy time to do that. So that should just be a matter of a phone call saying, hey, I'm going to get this taken care of once I'm able to. But right now it can't happen in Pennsylvania.
And we have received those kinds of requests and those extensions. Everybody's very, very understanding and very accommodating in today's world. We again appreciate it. Jake, did you have other thoughts on that or on the previous question?
No, I mean, I just have to echo what everyone else said. We're kind of being as flexible as we can given the situation. As long as there is communication throughout the process, the policyholder to the agent to us, to the underwriter who requests a recommendation. We've been handling them on a case-by-case basis, and I think, we've been as flexible as probably everybody else when it comes to these recommendations getting done.
Okay, thank you. Bruce, I know everybody's staying open during this time. We're seeing a reduction of claims, at least auto claims anyway, but we just had windstorms come through and severe weather came through, and we did have other claims, homeowners claims. How's Goodville handling the claim processes? It's a little harder today, but and even finding the repairs, but how are you handling that?
Yeah, our claims people are engaged and fully available, and we have seen a little dip in the number of auto accidents for sure. The severity, I think, because of our footprint at Goodville, where we write our business, the severity of those accidents hasn't dropped as significantly as some others. But our claims people are available, engaged. There are no delays. They're all working remotely. We have the technology available to assist. So I would say that the claim service, because of that slight dip in auto frequency, the claim service might be faster right now than it has been in normal times, however you define normal times. But we're fully engaged and available for our members.
Luann?
For Grange, it's business as usual. We have always been engaged with technology, and that also includes with our claim service. So claims are still handled very quickly. One great thing about our claim service is it's very personalized, and there's a lot of discussion and making sure that people understand what they're going to do in the case of repairs. It's very difficult at this point, particularly if it's a home repair or even some body shops, it may be a little dicey getting work done. And once again, it's a matter of talking to the claim rep and explaining your situation and coming to an agreement as to how to get things done. But for example, on an auto claim, if it's a minor accident, you just pull out your phone, On the claims app, you just click, take pictures of your damages. It goes to an adjuster, and you're going to get your estimate right back so you can get back on the road.
Thank you. One of the things that we do, and I know each of our carrier partners have, is we have great partnerships and relationships with restorators. One of our number one partnerships is Berks Fire and Water. They're in our territory, and we can get them out. They're operating. They're there. We can do emergency repairs. Construction can do emergency repairs. They're doing cleaning. There's a lot of things that we can still do during these times. But it's important that we still respond, and we're still there when our customers need us. Jake, how's Penn National handling the claims side?
Yeah, so we actually, there shouldn't be any delays or hiccups at all on our end. We actually, as a company, 2 or 3 times a year have mandatory work from home days in case a situation like this ever were to occur. So once we got the order, I would say probably we were like 95% or even higher fully operational from home with all of our employees. So they shouldn't experience any difficulties. If you have your claim number or your claim adjuster's number or extension, you can call that as you would if you were in the office, and it's going to be directed right to his home phone or cell phone. I would say the only thing I could really think of that might be affecting the claims process would be if there's a third party that has to get involved, with an adjuster. And again, as Luann said, open communication if they can't get someone out there to inspect it, or if they're having trouble on an auto claim with a repair shop, just let us know, and we're going to handle those as they come up.
Thank you. It's interesting times. I think I spend where I used to be in the car going from spot to spot or office to office or meeting to meeting and so on. Now I spend it going from Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting. So there's still ways to keep on going and keep communicating. Steve, what's Acuity doing relative to the claims process?
It should be same as it was, seamless. Our field claim reps were already in the field, so there's no difference in their lives right now because they're working out of their homes, and the home office is completely remote as well. But as everybody else said, from a service perspective, it should be probably a little bit better service, but if not any worse than it had been. And it's just a matter of getting people out to do whatever work is necessary right now. That's going to be the drag time on some things. But from a service perspective on us, it should no issues.
And it's not like your claim service was bad before. This is any of you out there. You all had excellent claim service, and we're always there for our policyholders and for the agency when we needed your support. I think what you mean by it's easier is that there's a little bit less volume, and there may be a little more availability. Liz, how's Travelers handling claims?
For us at Travelers, our goal on claims remains the same. We're deploying resources as needed. So if there's more claims reported in a certain area, we are deploying additional claims representatives to assist. Safety of our customers and employees is definitely top of mind and super important to us. So with that, we've instituted some more virtual options. So we do have a virtual inspection tool that allows us to see the damage without physically being on site. We also have the option to do a real-time video chat and apps that guide you through that process. In addition, you can share photos of the damage and videos using the upload functionality on travelers.com. Obviously, sometimes an on-site inspection is needed. So in that case, we'll take the necessary preventative measures to ensure the safety of the customers and the employees at that time.
Thanks. I'm not positive if I got everybody with that question. Did I? Or I would.
Yeah.
Great. We started talking about this a little bit. Liz started it off, and we were bouncing around. What else can consumers do to save money on their insurance programs? obviously, during this pandemic, each of your companies have stepped up to provide premium relief, stop cancellations from occurring, give people an opportunity to, defer billings, and a host of other things that are out there. But in general, what should consumers do today to help? Steve, you have a visitor peeking in your window.
Everyone's
One of your
homeschooling
boys?
now. What can you do?
I liked it. It was amusing. What else can consumers do to help save money, look at their program? Liz, you already started that off, so I'm going to let Luann. Why don't I lead off with you this time?
I think it's important that all of our clients communicate with their agents. It's a great time because people are home to review your current policies. Our lives are incredibly busy, and now that people are staying at home, we do have a little more time to breathe and think and digest things that are very important that get neglected. I encourage everyone to speak to their agent, and part of that is discussing what discounts are available with your carrier that you're with, and making sure that you have them all. It's also ensuring that you have the proper coverage in place that you need for your particular stage in life, because our lives change dramatically from when we first start out to when we retire. Making sure that everything is updated. Make sure that your home is taken care of, mitigate damages. Claims are expensive. You have a deductible, the pain that's involved with it. It's a great time to just do a lot of risk management for yourself. And the people at Seltzer, it's a very important function that they can help you with. And that discussion can possibly help you save money now and definitely in the future.
Thank you. Jake?
Yeah, I would say definitely get with your agent and discuss your current policy and coverages, and kind of go over anything that you feel might be missing, or any updates that you think you can provide to your agent. Package discounts of your home and auto with the same carrier. You can look at possibly increasing deductibles as a way to save money, or changing your pay plan to kind of spread out that cost. As I said before, instead of going like quarterly, maybe you go to a monthly and lower that payment. I'm a little weary to get into, advising people to kind of make big changes in terms of coverages, just because, you're going to have to change them back at some point. You're going to have to follow up, or you don't want to make a change to save some money now and then have to come back and hurt you, once this whole thing is over. So I'm a little wary on that. But, I think if you talk to one of the agents at Seltzer, they'll be more than willing to go over everything and point the clients in the direct path, the best path for them to save a couple bucks.
Bruce, do you have any suggestions for folks?
Well, I think the premium credits that nearly everyone in the industry is doing. I think that's tremendous for the industry to come quickly to that conclusion and offer the premium credits for personal auto. The other thing that we're at Goodville doing that's small but meaningful is if you're not working. I mean, if you used to commute to work and you're not going to work anymore, just a simple request, we'll change your status from commute to pleasure, no questions asked, and through your agent. If you communicate with your agent and the request comes in, and that that's a savings in and of itself. So for whatever period of time you're in that status where you're at home and not commuting, you're going to get a little discount there as well.
Good suggestions, Steve?
I would follow what everybody else is saying. Talk to your agent. Make sure you're properly covered. make sure that you're getting all the discounts that are available, make sure you got all your exposures correct, so that you're not paying too much and that you're not then getting hit on the back end on the commercial side if there was an audit or anything like that. You want to make sure, like I said, you're properly covered, your exposures are correct, and you're getting the discounts that are available to you.
Liz, you started this off a little bit ago with some things that you recommended. Do you have anything else to add?
No, just echoing what everyone else mentioned. If you haven't taken a chance to look at your policies in quite some time, now's the perfect time. Reach out to your agent. Look, make sure you're receiving all the appropriate discounts that are available to you. Billing discounts. I know a lot of companies offer an EFT discount. You can save on billing fees that way as well. So perfect time to reach out to the agent and make sure that everything is proper. You're properly covered and everything is on you.
So Jake started off with a elephant in the room question that we get a lot today, and with, should I reduce my coverage? Should I lower my liability limit? Should I get rid of, collision if I'm not driving my car? Our process is just to talk to the customer and find out what their goals are, their needs are, and so on. But it's something that we're really facing out there every day. So thoughts to consumers and folks out there on when they're thinking about doing those things, what should they be considering beyond cost, if there is a beyond cost in their life at this moment. I'll just let that one open for anybody who would like to chat more.
I think as a consumer, you have to do what you're comfortable doing. And sometimes it comes down to a gut feeling, but if you're comfortable dropping a coverage because the car is not being used and you're good with that, then I think you're okay in doing that. But I think, it just comes down to what are you comfortable in doing as a consumer. As you said, there's a lot of potential red flags down the road if you do those things that you have to take into consideration, but it comes down to your comfort level, in my opinion.
My only comment there would be just be careful with the advice that your brother-in-law gives you. We see crazy stuff happen and crazy requests come in, and my advice to everyone is you have an agent, in this case, a very good agency group here. Rely on them for the best advice, because what you're hearing from your brother-in-law or your neighbor is probably not the best.
My brother-in-law is in law enforcement, so he's out there every day. And but when he's asked me the question because we insure him, so he would give the advice that I gave. Luann,
I would add that what you're hearing from your brother-in-law might be half a story too.
Yeah.
I'd just like to encourage people to also keep in mind you can really drastically reduce your coverage, but we're also looking at a relatively short-term event. It feels like an eternity, but there's always the risk of reducing your coverage for that, say, period of a month or 6 weeks. Speak to the agents and find out how much it's actually going to save you, because there's always the risk of, for example, taking collision off of your car, and then you start driving again and you forget to call the agency and tell them that you're driving again, and you have that collision coverage, which is now self-insured because it's uninsured. So please really discuss with the agent before making those types of decisions. And keep in mind that we're really looking probably at a relatively short span of time. The savings may be worth it, they may not be. So definitely take the advice of the agent.
Liz, did you have?
No, echoing what everyone else mentioned.
And you started it, Jake, so.
All right, I just wanted to put it out there.
No, it's a real
Advice.
question. And we again, we appreciate, all of the proactiveness that, our industry has exhibited in trying to help consumers and help our customers during this time. Everybody's in it together. This is very unique across the country. Everybody's feeling this. Everybody's affected by this in one way or another. And so I'm proud of our industry, and proud of what each of you and each of our companies have done to try to help our customers through this difficult time. So thank you. And our philosophy is, well, let's sit down and let's really talk about the decisions you're making, and if ultimately people have to make choices, that's we'll do our best to guide them through that. But be careful too. There's a lot of risk out there by making some of those choices. At this time, what other, we're talking about the pandemic, but just in general, once we come out of this pandemic, what kinds of changes, what kinds of communication do you prefer or see that is best to notify your agent in our company? Like new purchases, children issues, and so on. What kind of recommendations do you give out to consumers there? Jake, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I would say number one, and any of your changes you want to discuss with your agent first off, but some of the basic ones would be new purchases of vehicles, jewelry, anything with that might be on a floater policy with substantial value, children moving out of the house, certainly we're moving back in the house, as that is kind of more of what's going on in today's economy. Once, I guess you can't retitle vehicles right now, but once, the economy opens back up, any retitling or mortgagee changes, you can contact your agent and they'll send those in to us. So kind of the standard, I guess, changes that we see on an everyday basis that maybe the client doesn't think about. So it's just important to think whenever you make a purchase, it's just something that I need to discuss with my agent.
Thanks. Bruce, how about you? Any thoughts?
I think Jake nailed it on that one. I always just refer to lifestyle changes, and that that encompasses a whole bunch of stuff. Married, divorced, children, moving in, moving out, changes to the house. I added a wing. I put a second story on. Anything that would be a change to your lifestyle is worth a conversation with your agent.
Thanks. Oftentimes, especially homeowners, we're protecting or insuring many people's biggest asset they'll ever own in their life, and they add, make additions, do things, update, and just forget to let us know that we may want to make a modification to coverage that doesn't have to be more expensive, and sometimes things can be less expensive. Liz, any other thoughts?
No, same. I know, customers are with us are able to make some changes right on our app or on My Travelers. So my suggestion is just always, before you make those changes, reach out to your agent to discuss that. But like Bruce said, additions to your home, if you add a pool, sometimes, customers make the changes like you said and don't reach out. And those are important to make sure that we're updating replacement costs and all that.
Luann?
Grange works strictly through our independent agents because we do feel that there's a great value in the knowledge that each insured gets from their agent. So we would ask that any changes that you need to make, or once again, as everyone explained, your lifestyle changes, but your agent doesn't know, just speak directly to your agent and they can advise you. Plus, we'll make the appropriate changes with Grange.
How about Steve? How about Acuity?
I think everybody's hit on it, and I think everybody's correct with what they're saying. And if you're not sure, you can always call your agent and say, hey, do we need to change anything on my insurance about this? And, at worst case, it's another point of contact between you and your agent, and then that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I'll just add that sometimes we hear about the change or what's being done or the concern after the fact. It's sometimes great to actually, hey, I'm going to put in a pool. Will that have any impact on my homeowners? And what do you suggest? Or I'm going to put in an alternative heating source. Is there any issues I need to be concerned about? Because everybody has different, underwriting guidelines and opinions and thoughts about all different kinds of things. So I would encourage, all of our customers that are listening out there to call us anytime, ask us questions, ask us, how their insurance program would respond. And be happy to answer those questions and provide that guidance and that support. I don't have any other open questions, and we're getting down to the last few minutes here of our time together. So I'll just open it up to anybody. I really appreciate each and every one of you being on this program. I did see a question earlier about other companies. Yeah, we represent a lot of companies and what they're doing. And I'll just encourage you, just like these folks have, to give our staff a call, and we'll guide you through that with no matter who your insurance provider is. But it was informative, good conversation. I appreciate it. I'll let each of you close however you wish. Start with Luann again. I kind of like did a pattern and then I reversed it. And then, just trying to be fair, let everybody go first, second, third. Hopefully that worked.
Well, first off, I would like to thank you for the opportunity for Seltzer and Keystone for being a valued partner to Grange. Also, a huge thank you and appreciation to those of you who have written your personal insurance through Grange. We want to be there for you and to help you have security in your life, because that's what insurance is about. And secondly, I would like to thank all the first responders that have been out there putting their lives on the line and being out there every day and taking care of the rest of us. And also thank you to Seltzer for supporting the emergency folks in our communities. And everyone stay well.
Yeah, thank you, Luann. And not to, we're trying to do what we can, in our community support, but Luann did call me recently and she provided some lunch to several of our first responders, emergency personnel in our community, and it was very much appreciated and a very, very wonderful gesture. Jake?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Seltzer for putting this on. I think it's a great opportunity to get more information directly to the policyholders in a time where you're not really allowed to be out in front of people, which can make, an agent's job very difficult in terms of informing the client. So thank you guys for the opportunity to have me. I would say the biggest thing to keep in mind for anybody, regardless of, who your insurance is with, is just try to have open communication with your agency partner, with your agent, with your carrier. If you have any questions, I'm sure you can always use Google, get an 800 number. I feel a lot of carriers are set up to field questions at this point through the pandemic. And, thank you to the first responders and everyone who's helping us stay safe. And hopefully this provided a lot of insight for some policyholders who were able to join and have some more intel to provide.
Thank you again, Jake, for joining us today. Steve?
I would like to say thanks for the opportunity. I hope this was informative. Definitely reach out if you have a question, to whether it be Seltzer, whether it be us. Thanks to our policyholders. The best thing we can do is keep our lines of communication open. And other than that, stay safe out there, everybody. Hopefully this ends sooner rather than later, but it is what it is at this point. So stay safe.
Thanks, Steve. Liz?
Like everyone, thank you so much for having us. This was such a great informative session for the customers and for me, right? Because we all get to hear what other companies are doing in the industry. So thank you again. Thanks to our, as everyone's mentioned, first responders. You know, my husband is also a first responder. He's a state trooper from New Jersey. So I feel what everybody else is feeling, you know, when they're on the front lines. Thanks to our policyholders. I mean, I've also seen some of the things that Seltzer's been doing with the customers on social media. So you guys are doing a great job out there to keep the customers informed. So thanks. And like everyone said, stay safe and hopefully we'll get back to normal soon.
Liz, please tell your husband thanks for his service, and all of us at Seltzer's here appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
Bruce?
Yeah, just a quick plug to the Seltzer Group. You know, we work with independent agents across 8 states. This is the first forum that I've participated in for your clients, Steve. You and I know Johnny's in the background there somewhere, and I know she's done a lot of work around this as well. So it's a great service to your clients, and I'm sure they appreciate the opportunity. So thanks for inviting us in and providing a great service for your clients.
I had somebody say, how do I get the do-it-yourself home inspection that you're talking about? So we'll sort that out, Sandra, and get back to you and answer that question. Yeah, so thanks, Bruce. Appreciate it. Appreciate all your efforts during these times and your partnership with us. Again, we're very proud to represent each of your companies, and look forward to seeing you all, hopefully in person, maybe where we can buy lunch and we can sit face to face and talk again. So
Agreed.
Thanks for your time today, and I appreciate it. And please stay safe.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.